social media and your strategies and everything like that. As Carrie was saying, that my name is Peter Joy. I'm actually the regional manager for Demandforce for the state of Florida. And really, what I want to do today is help you all go through your social media strategy and help you develop it and define it and really make it a successful tool for y'all out there, because it can be an extremely valuable tool for not just dental offices, but every small business out there if you just use it appropriately and use it effectively. So with that said, we'll just kind of go ahead and jump in and start going through and all this. And also, as Carrie said, I will be taking questions at the end. So, definitely take some notes, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have at the end of this. So, a lot of you and a lot of the clients that I deal with, they think of social media and they think of one thing, Facebook, this big monster that's out in the room. And I did notice that a lot of you already have Facebook pages out there, which is awesome. But a lot of you really don't know exactly what social media is as a whole. So social media defined is any online platform where regular people dictate what is published and they can interact with other people or businesses. So this is your patients, your patient base, going out and picking and choosing what they want to see, posting what they want to post, and reading what they want to read. So it's a great way for you to interact with them on a more, impersonal level or personal level. So a few other things about social media. Some of the keys are you got to be where your patients are. Everybody's on social media this day and age. So why wouldn't you want to be there? You look in your waiting room while your patients are waiting for their appointment, and most of them are probably on their smartphones, and they're usually on one of 4 sites, and one of those sites is Facebook, or they're usually on Google. So why not go directly where they are, and why not be in contact with them, all day long? The medium is the message when it comes to social media. Like I said, you got to go and be where these patients are. And when it comes down to it, social media is the future of search and e-commerce. Whether we like it or not, this is where everything is going. It's happening. It's something that's real, and people have to jump on board the train now, or unfortunately, they're going to be left behind and they're going to be playing catch up. So it's something that we can't be afraid of. We have to embrace, and we have to adapt and make it something that we can work with on a daily basis as well. So some really cool statistics about social media, and Facebook in general that I'm sure a lot of people aren't aware of. Everybody knows that Facebook is the biggest website out there, but a lot of people didn't know that there's over 1 billion active users on Facebook. Half of those people are on Facebook every single day. So half a billion people are cruising around on Facebook every single day. As I mentioned, your patients in your waiting room are probably on Facebook. There's a good possibility that somebody in your office, one of your staff, is probably cruising around on Facebook at some point during the day. Over people are spending over 70 billion minutes on social media per month. The average person spends between 35 and 45 minutes a day when they're on Facebook, just cruising around, talking to their friends, seeing what other people are doing, checking out your business, see if there's anything going on, see if there's any specials. So these are some really powerful statistics on just what social media is doing and how much time people are spending on it. A lot of the clients that I deal with that don't have Facebook or are hesitant to do it, one of the excuses that they give me when it comes to it is that, oh, Facebook it's for the young kids, it's for high school kids, it's for college kids, it's not for people my age. Well, we did some statistics, and 61% of the users are older than 38 years old. That's very powerful. So it's not just the young generation getting on there anymore and signing up. It's parents, it's grandparents. 55 and older is the fastest growing age group on Facebook. These are the grandparents or the parents whose kids are going away to college, or their kids are having kids, or they're moving away to a different state because work, or they're being deployed overseas, or whatever it may be. So this is how people are staying in contact. So it's no longer for the younger generation. These are the soccer moms that are staying at home and have these mommy groups, and they're communicating with their other friends and chatting and blogging and doing all this stuff. So those are very powerful statistics, and this is why you should be on there, because it's your patients are on here. Your moms are on here, their dads are on here, your kids' parents are on here. So it's a very, very powerful tool. So what does this mean for you? So word of mouth. You know, the dental industry is, it used to be based on word of mouth referrals. You would tell a patient, you would give them the refer a friend cards, and they'd take it to their friends or family member whenever they remembered to do it, if they remembered to do it. So you got a little bit of response. It was something that was okay. But now with social media, what's happening is when you're telling your patients about your office and talking about it and asking them to refer their friends, they're not picking up the phone and calling them anymore. They're going to social media. They're going to sites like Facebook, like Twitter, or Google Plus, and talking about how amazing their experience was with you, or going directly to their friends or family that way, telling them to go check out your office. You're instantly in contact with everybody. The average person on Facebook has 135 friends. So if they have a great experience about your office and they go on Facebook and they brag about it, you just instantly potentially reached 135 other people. Social media really is viral marketing at its best. There's so many people that you're getting in contact with via these sites that you would never have any type of connection with if it wasn't for social media. So it's a very, very powerful tool and a very, very strong tool. So why should you care about social media? Why should your office consider it? Why is it such a big deal? Well, 90% of the US population have used some sort of social networking site, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Twitter, whether it be YouTube, Pinterest. All these sites are out there. The largest search engine in the world is Google. It's the biggest one. But a lot of people don't realize that the second largest search engine out there is YouTube. People are going to YouTube to find information now. They're doing searches on YouTube for dentists and checking out videos of the office. They're going on YouTube to find information for anything else out there. And YouTube is social media. So, use it to your advantage. Social networking sites make marketing more targeted than ever. So you can target those specific criteria that you want, those specific patient bases that you want. It's quickly becoming the platform for word of mouth referrals and e-commerce. Going back to what we just said, it's where people are going to spread the information for your practice and spread the name. And then it enables you to interact and be seen by potential patients. So just because somebody is referred to you and your patients talk to you about, or talk about your office to their friends and family on Facebook, it's a great way for them to go and check out your office and really get to know your practice and for you to connect with these potential patients. Success in social media. This is another great statistic. 50% of small business owners reported gaining new customers through social media. So 50% of the small businesses that are using social media are using it effectively and are gaining new patients, new customers, which is ultimately money in your pocket, which is going to the bottom line, which is revenue, which is what everybody wants to do. So they're taking these free sites that aren't costing them a dime and they're making them revenue generators for their office, which in my opinion is a great investment. You invest $0 into it and you're making money. So once you take the leap and you decide to join Facebook, there's certain things you want to do to make sure that your Facebook page is nice and make sure that people can find it. So here's just some tips on getting your Facebook page set up and making it reflect what you want. So stick with your current website branding and colors. And what I mean by that is have it match your website. The same colors, blacks, grays, purples, blues, greens, whatever it is. If you got a very clean, earthy looking tone on your website, don't go with bright purples and reds and everything like that for your Facebook page. It's just not going to mesh. Make sure your patients can find you. What I mean by that is just make sure all your information is consistent and accurate across the board. If you change information on your website, don't forget to go change it on your Facebook page. Your hours of operation, your address, your phone number, those type of things. Because like I said, people are going to social media to get your information. So make sure that they're receiving the correct information, that they can get in contact with you. Name your page appropriately. So don't have your website or your office name be Bluebonnet Dental, and then your web or your Facebook page be Dr. Bill Anthony DDS. You want to make it consistent so people are doing the search by the way they know your office. If you've marketed your office a specific way, make sure it matches on Facebook or these other social media sites that you're using, so everything is consistent across the board so people aren't getting things mixed up. So once again, just make sure everything is accurate and complete before you try and reach out to your fans. Make sure it's exactly how you want it to be. You love the way it looks. All the information is correct before you even try and get people to go like your page. And then lastly, just post enough content to fill your page. Don't have an empty page out there, because if people go to it and they don't really see much activity, make sure that you have enough to fill it up. So generating that Facebook traffic, once you have it filled up, um, share it with your patients. Let people know about it. You spend all this time and this effort making this beautiful Facebook page. Let people know about it. Let your patients know about it. Put some postings in your office. Send out an email announcing your new Facebook page and asking patients to go like it. This is something that Demandforce is very effective for your offices or for our clients, as we have newsletters that announce Facebook pages. Put links everywhere. Put them on your website. Put them on your business cards, on your email signatures. Give people access to your page with whatever piece of information that you're giving them so they can go like it. Be active on Facebook. Like I said, don't create this amazing page and do not do anything with it. So, but when it comes to your posts, keep community focused. Post community items and sprinkle a little bit of dental tips in there here and there. Don't make it all about dental procedures and dental health and things like that. That's going to bore your patients and it's going to make them not want to go there. You want to show them your true self. Be the source of useful information. So if you hear something that makes sense and you feel will be beneficial to your patients, yes, don't hesitate to put it on there, but make sure that it will benefit them. Post pictures, post them often. Make it appealing to your page and make your page look interesting. Whether it's pictures of the office, if you get a new TV monitor, some new equipment, or a new fish tank, or a new fish in that fish tank, or doctor gets a new haircut, or whatever it may be. Post pictures. People like pictures. And then also, don't forget, if you have reviews, if you've generated amazing reviews, put them on your Facebook page. Ask your patients to go and write how awesome you are on your Facebook page. So don't forget to post that stuff either, because that's a very, very powerful tool when it comes to Facebook. And be your own biggest cheerleader. Don't hesitate and don't be shy to talk about how awesome your staff is or how awesome you are. Or don't tell your staff not to go on and post how awesome the doctor is. You've done all this work and you've created this great practice. Let people know about it. Don't be shy. All right. So what a post? Professional and social. Engage your patients and show your practice's personality. Don't hesitate to be a little goofy every once in a while. If somebody in your office has a new baby, don't hesitate to take a picture of the baby and wish them happy birthday or whatever it may be. Pay special attention to holidays and community events. Wish people happy holidays. If you're doing any type of fundraiser in the office, or if you're volunteering during the holidays, or you're doing the Susan G. Komen Walk for a Cure, whatever it may be, don't let your patients know about it. Let them know that you're doing these great things out in the community, and if they'd like to join you, give them the dates and times. This really helps you move the office or the doctor out of that doctor role and into a friend role. It makes people comfortable with the office. It makes potential patients comfortable and see the doctor more as a friend or somebody they can hang out with on a weekend, not just somebody who's going to be rooting in their mouth for an hour. So it's a great way to move you in a very, very strong position. So successful wall posts and topics. Informational material users can share with their friends. So once again, if you see something informative about dental health, don't hesitate to put it on there. If it's about pediatric dentistry, people can forward that on to their friends and family. Fun facts, silly statistics, and trivia. I have clients that every Tuesday, it's Trivia Tuesday. They ask a trivia question. Sometimes it's dental related, sometimes it's not. The first person to respond correctly gets some type of prize. So it's a great way to keep people interactive and keep them going to your page and seeing what the new trivia question is. Pictures from around your office, once again, if you remodel, if you got anything new, put it on there. People like to see that, especially if it's a new piece of equipment. Keeps you up to date. Any announcements, once again, birth of a child, birth of a grandchild, doctor's going on vacation, doctor wins an award, doctor's going out of town for a seminar, something like that. And if you're running any specials or anything like that, let people know. Holiday teeth whitening specials, promotions, put it on Facebook. It's a great way to reach those patients that maybe haven't been in your office in a while or were just in a couple weeks ago and aren't due in for another 6 months, 6 or 7 months. As I mentioned, reviews. Reviews do matter when it comes to your page. Don't hesitate to put that stuff on there because 60% of consumers read online reviews of local businesses. People want to do these things before they even make any type of business decision. So 70% of consumers trust a business with minimum of 6 to 10 reviews. So you definitely want to put that on there. The more reviews you have, the better off you're going to be. So make sure you have a system in place that can help you generate reviews and get them to your Facebook page. So this is actually a client of ours in Florida, Chamberlain General and Sedation Dentistry. So one of the things we've done for them is we've helped them make their Facebook page actionable. We've actually installed appointment request widgets onto their page. So now your patients have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week access to your office, no matter where they're at. You know, most people are on social media after business hours, so why not give them the ability to request an appointment from your page? You know, we'll also push those reviews that we were able to generate to your Facebook page to help you get those reviews on there. And this is what it'll look like. You can even respond to reviews. It's always great to see a positive response to a positive review. Patient talks about how much they love you and how awesome you are. Thank them. You know, that holds a lot of weight. People like to see that because it shows you that you care about your patients. So as Carrie was talking, that's kind of the end of the presentation. So we're right about the 15-minute mark. We are an endorsed product of the FDA. We do have exclusive pricing for FDA members. One of the things that we do is we waive up all the setup costs when it comes to implementing Demandforce in your office and your social media strategies and everything like that. Right now, what we can do is obviously we're now going into the Q&A session. You obviously have an open floor to ask me any questions that you may have. My contact information was there or is right here. If you all have any other questions after this session, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to work with you and answer any questions that you may have.
So we have had a few questions that have come in while we were during the presentation, so I've actually put them all in one big long stream for you. If you want to go ahead and address them one by one, and then if anybody else has any other ones, they can type it in the middle of the screen.
Okay. So the first one I see is when someone searches for a dentist, what determines whose name appears on the top of the list? So it really depends on what search engine they're using. With Facebook, it's more geared towards your area. So if they do a specific search for your office, so Sunshine Dental, let's say, you know, Facebook can kind of pick up where you're at, but it'll bring up all the Sunshine Dentals that are there in that specific area. And they'll just be able to find you by the information that you have. So that's why it's imperative that all your business information is accurate, that the address and everything is all there. Now, when it comes to sites like Google or other local search engines, there's a lot that goes into that. Google has a very big algorithm that they use. That thing changes every single month. And the only person that knows that algorithm is the person that writes it. So he or she is kind of the master behind the mayhem. But one of the things that they like is fresh content. So the more fresh content you have going out to the web and to your Facebook page, the better off you're going to be. So reviews do matter, and making sure that you're working with companies that have data agreements in place with these search engines like Google, like Facebook, like CityGrid Media and everything. So that is a trusted source of information. It's just not somebody on one computer throwing a bunch of stuff out there hoping to get you up. So it's just a matter of making sure that all your information is connected in a clean, concise way from a trusted source of information. and blogs and all that definitely help. But there's that criteria always changes, so it's very hard for me to say you need to do this in order to get to that number one spot. So the next question, what is the advantage, disadvantage between a website that I create myself versus the one created by a marketing company? Um, a lot of times when it comes to that, if you just create a website by yourself, you can absolutely do that. And I've seen offices that have created very nice websites and they've done it by themselves, or they've done it with a brother-in-law, whatever that develops those things. Some of the advantages of working with marketing companies is they do more of an SEO feature. Google AdWords, pay per clicks, all that type of stuff. But it does get very, very expensive. So if you're on a tight budget, sometimes doing it yourself isn't a bad thing. But just be careful which companies you use. Make sure it is a credible company. They usually have different tiers that you can use, and make sure it's just not some local mom and pop company that says they're SEO and they can get you the number one spot on Google, because they really can't, and it's usually going to cost you an arm and a leg, and the support's not going to be there for you. Next question: as far been found on the net, two dental websites. Is there a difference between a website that created today versus another website that was created years ago? Usually more. You can definitely tell a website that was created years ago compared to the ones that are more recent. The ones that are more recent are usually a little bit more flashier, cleaner, crisper. They have more options, more widgets, and things like that to check out different areas. So you can definitely tell there's just more technology involved in it. So you can usually just tell. I would say if you have an older website that's 10 years old or whatnot, it might be worth looking into updating it and getting a more up-to-date version, more modern version, just because you want to attract that younger patient base, and that's what they're looking at. They do take in consideration how the website looks, and if it's very technology driven, because that's the type of office that they want, somebody who's up to date with technology and has the newest and best stuff out there. And if your website doesn't really reflect that, because it is a reflection of you, you potentially could be losing patients. Where was I? Okay. And if changing web hosting provider, is it better to keep the old domain name or create a new one? A lot of times when it comes to domain names, you can keep it, especially if it's something that your patients are used to. You want to keep it simple. You don't want a really big, long domain name. And websites are becoming more and more popular nowadays, so it is becoming a little bit more difficult to find a branded domain name that works with your office. So if you can keep the old one and it's worked for you, I would say, hey, go for it. Depending on the developer that you use, they might make you create a new domain name. Does Demandforce help create content for websites, blog, Facebooks? Absolutely. So we don't create websites, but we can integrate with them. So one of the things that we do is we have webinars all the time, not just this type through the FDA, but we have in-house social media specialists with our support team that help you out with blog posts, that help you out with what's going on in social media, the newest and coolest things, and they can help you kind of put a game plan together. We actually have a division where we build out Facebook pages for clients, and we set up the calendars for them of the types of posts you want to post and when you want to post them, so you're pushing the right things out to the patients at the right time. So yeah, we can definitely help you out with that. But the thing is we don't want to create everything for you guys, because these posts still need to be personable. They still need to be coming from you. There's a lot of companies out there that will post blogs and Facebook posts for their clients, but it's the same post for every single client across the board. So your post for a general dental office could be the same thing as an orthodontics office, where it doesn't matter, or so your post is going to be posted the same post that's on everybody's office. And if you have a patient that goes to your office, but their kid or their child is going to that orthodontic office as well, they're going to see two different offices with the same exact post, and it doesn't necessarily always come off the best. So you definitely want to make sure that everything is still personable from your office. If I had only 100, what be the best place to spend it? So $100, I would assume. Um, that's a tough question. I would definitely, I would invest money. I wouldn't say necessarily into your website. I would say invest it into Facebook. You know, if you have somebody that you know can help you build a very nice professional Facebook page, put it towards there. Um, you know, websites are great tools to have. They just don't hold the the power that they used to 10, 15 years ago when everybody had them, because now everybody's going to Facebook. And then if they want to go check out your website, they can. Like I said, Facebook, you know, over a billion users are on it. So once again, go towards where your patients are. So create that Facebook page, that customized one, which is yours to keep, and it's easy to make changes here and there too. Okay, so there's a little bit of clarification on one of the questions. What I meant by an old website versus new was not the looks, but the likelihood of being found on the web. Okay, I apologize for that. So the likelihood, once again, goes back to the content, the activity that you have. You know, like I said, websites are, you can still be found. It can still pop up, you know, on those major search engines as number one. It's just a matter of how much activity you have going there. So yes, blogs. If you have your blog associated with your website, if you have reviews going there, even Twitter can help you out. If you have Twitter synced up to your website, so the more fresh content you have going there, the better off you're going to be, because Facebook does, or you know, a lot of these search engines do track this activity. So if they see a website and it's very stagnant, it hasn't been updated, you know, hasn't new pictures haven't been on there, there's no feed to it, they'll push it down further, because these websites that are out there that are getting a ton of content left and right, and getting a ton of clicks, that's where they're going to push up. So yeah, you definitely, if you have an older website, make sure you're just syncing everything up with it. And if you have a Facebook page and a Twitter account, make sure all that is linked to there too. And if you have feeds for reviews, get those set up as well, and make sure you're just, you know, updating it, keeping it active.
That is all of the questions that I've had come in the Q&A. But if anybody else would like to contact Peter directly, his contact information is in the middle. And actually, I've had one more question come in, and they said, "What are the best keywords to put in your
Ooh.
website?"
um, Keywords. There's a ton of keywords that you can use. It's just a matter of, you know, in my opinion, when I set up my clients, is I use as many as I can possibly think of. Dentist, whatever your area or whatever city you're in, general dentistry, family dentistry, cosmetic dentistry, pediatric dentistry, even put your zip code in there. And if you do specialty things like, you know, the Under Armour mouth guards or Invisalign or, you know, clear braces, those type of things. So you don't want to get very technical with it, because when people are going online and doing searches, they're a lot of them don't know the real technical terms for dental work. They're looking for the basic stuff, so the generic terms and the most common things. So the more you have, the better off you're going to be when it comes to that stuff. And you know, even don't be afraid to put it in, you know, a few surrounding towns around you, or if you have a major metropolis next to you, don't be afraid to put that in there as well as your current town. So it's just, and just make sure that everything's matching up. So there's just a ton that you can put in there with keywords. Um, but a lot of times, try and match it to the keywords that you have on your website with like the services offered, those things. That way, everything is consistent as well.